just to break it down tonight, it started off with Ember Moon, recapping her intention of why she came to NXT is to become the NXT Women's Champion. Later on, we had Atlas versus Adonis in a match. Atlas defeat Adonis via pinfall. Is that Theory? Nope, Jake Atlas.
Yeah, they look similar, but
yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't give that much push for Adonis. But I think at the moment, Jake Atlas, they're trying to push first. Then Adonis will be the next round of people for the cruiserweight.
Follow with that is Johnny Gargano versus Austin Theory. We have Gargano defeating Theory via pinfall. From there, we have the number one contendership match for the women's championship, NXT championship, Candice LeRae versus Shais Blackheart. Fortunately, LeRae defeated Blackheart via pinfall to become the new number one contendership for the belt for the Halloween Havoc. Toni Storm returned to NXT US, and her first opponent is Aaliyah with Robert Stone, the Stone production. And Storm, of course, defeated Aaliyah via pinfall. Killian Dane and Drake Maverick versus Imperium. These two were going at for the number one contendership for the tag team belt, which is currently Breezango. Imperium wants to surprise us with a win over Dane and Marix via pinfall. And for the North American Championship belt, which I believe it was the last match of the night, it was our North American champion Damian Priest versus Dexter Loomness. And not a surprise, Priest is still our NXT North American champion. I could say up front is that I'm surprised that the Toni Storm match is getting some low scores. We're getting like 3 stars or below.
Yeah, I would say the match wasn't so great. But it's not a warm up for Toni Storm because it's a different division, UK to US. The style's a little different, and also the first person that she got was Aaliyah. So her wrestling IQ or ring like expertise is not so great. So Toni Storm looked a little bit off when she was wrestling. She performed well, but you could tell it's not the same Toni Storm as the former champion and as how she used to wrestle in UK. But I like that she returned, which was great. Yep. She looks good, and she's it's gonna be a good improvement for the women's division for NXT. Even though they didn't need her, but adding her to the mix, it's great, especially for them.
Well, the thing that we're seeing here is that she is definitely gonna bring eye candy because she is a beautiful woman, first of all, and top it off, she's an amazing wrestler in her division. You know, she has wrestled in the Indies, in the UK. You know what I'm saying? Pretty worldwide. So her being part of the US brand. We could definitely predict that she could definitely be with the team red or blue within maybe 6 months top, depending on how the story works between her and Ember Moon for the contendership spot. So, I mean, I'm kind of sad that, you know, it was not the best performance by good people critiquing it. But, you know, I'm just happy that she's still with NXT and doing some great job, even though I think her partner is in AEW, which is kind of cool. So with that also being mentioned, William Regal announced that Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez will have a match in Halloween Havoc. I'm not sure if this is really good for the storyline or it was just like a filler.
I feel they needed this match too because they've been beefing for like almost a month, which is fine. But I feel like this should be culminate their feud between the two. Win, lose or draw, whoever gets it doesn't affect neither. I feel like it helps more Raquel because she's like moving on up in the division. Yeah. Okay. But I like that she's getting a feud with somebody legit like Rhea Ripley. So win, loss or draw, this benefits more Raquel than Rhea. I feel Rhea's doing it to help to boost the division up and making her as like a big star in the division. But I think I was expecting this to happen at NXT TakeOver 31, but I'm guessing they rolled it over for this pay-per-view. And I think also Regal had I don't know what's gonna happen with Xia Li, but I know Xia Li requested a match for next week, or I don't know what's going on over there. But her and Boa, I don't know if it's like a some type of mafia or something. I don't know what's going on, but it's intriguing. But I don't know what's gonna happen. But I want to see what they do with Xia Li, because they've done factions correctly in NXT. Let's see what they could do with like a female being the spearhead of the division of that faction.
It'll be interesting, and I don't think Xia Li will be much of the leader. I think they might build more out of it. I think she will be more of the eye candy, in my personal opinion. Just a need to attract people to be like, oh wow, she's part of this group, versus like, hey, she's running this group, because she's not that talkative. You know what I'm saying? True. She doesn't have that type of charisma compared to other females that we have seen. You know what I'm saying? Like Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley could definitely talk on her own, defend on her own. She could be with the group or with a partner, and she'll stand out. Xia Li, I don't know how that's going to work out, because the one thing I'm not too fond with WWE is like they don't really do much compensation for foreign wrestlers, because instead of using their language as a tool,
I think the only one it's been asked is the only one that they've like let go, and it's been working out good, but everybody else they haven't.
No, and that's my point. I mean, back then, even when Vince and Shane was doing the voiceover of Fukutama, oh my god, like they used to do voiceover for certain people. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, why can't you just have subtitles? You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's being pre-recorded. I feel like their language is a powerful tool. You should just be able to have them be them and be able to translate it for us to read it, and then we'd be like, all right, cool, we feel the passion, because I feel like they might be more comfortable in that area versus them forcing them to speak English, which is not an easy language. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy at all, even if you've been here for what, 6, 7, 13 years. Not everybody get English that.
And I feel like the only people that have done it an okay job sort of in the beginning was AEW. I think you had Michael Nakasawa translating for Riho in the beginning, but that kind of got dropped. So it's just, I feel like they have to have a fine balance between the talent, the manager, and the combination of both, because one could overthrow the other one. But I feel they just have to either let them do their thing and kind of express themselves how they are, which they're doing with Asuka. I don't know. They didn't take the same route with Shinsuke, and you see what's happening. He went from basically going for the main heavyweight to now he's in the tag team, which is fine, but it's just like he's just in the tag team. Like I feel like he's a single star, so he should like be more emphasis on him, and he got a skill and stuff. But let's see what happens. It's just interesting what they're doing with somebody with Xia Li, because they rebranded her a couple of times, but she started a losing streak. So let's see if that's, hopefully she picks it up again and starts winning it all over again.
Of course. Another tension here is the tag team match between Imperium and Dane and Maverick. My personal opinion is that I think they dropped the ball in this area, because if Maverick and Dane has been one of your more pop on the social media, I feel like they should have been the one facing Breezango for this pay-per-view, not Imperium. Imperium seems to be getting like
I think it might
assembled.
I think it might be Undisputed Era going against Breezango. I think I
missed a match.
Yeah, I think Undisputed Era. It was supposed to be Undisputed Era versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch for the #1 contenders. So I think they're facing.
I did overlook that. My bad.
But
wow,
Imperium taking the win. I was expecting it, which it kind of makes sense. You can't have Imperium losing, but Maverick and Killing Dane, they trying to make something happen. I feel like at first I hated it because it was just like they're completely two opposites, and I feel like they were trying to do what Kane and Daniel Bryan were doing, sort of, or like the Big Show, and basically putting somebody big and somebody small, like Rey Mysterio and Batista, like kind of opposites put together. So I feel like it's merging a little bit. I feel like Killian Dane, we're seeing more personality out of him because of Drake Maverick, so he's benefiting from that interaction. But I don't know. I think there's a limit to this, but it's interesting, and I feel like NXT, this is kind of their comedy for like kind of some type of like bringing stuff down a little bit. So it's good for Killian Dane because it helps in his like personality, and it boosts up Drake Maverick because he would have been stuck in 205 and he would have done anything. You know what I'm saying? So at least it's good for both, but it should be interesting how they make this work away from comedy.
And I do apologize. I did overlook that one important note is that it's Undisputed Era versus Burke and Lorcan for the #1 contendership. Undisputed Era is facing them in the Halloween Havoc. Again, my apologies for overlooking that note.
But I would say, sorry,
it is an eye candy.
If you go back to that like segment when they were both talking, Kyle O'Reilly, big plus. I'm liking how they making him be not the speaker of Undisputed Era, but I feel like Adam Cole's giving the reins to him, and he's becoming kind of like a single star. And Danny, I think it was Lorcan, kind of like threw a dig about the situation that happened to Rich Holland, not because of him, he got injured. He was like, forget about Rich Holland. We're in front of you. He'll be back some other time. Now we're facing you. So I feel like they touch upon the situation that happened last week, but kind of like go back to to the present and face us route. Who cares about what happened with Rich Holland? So I like how they touch upon what was going on, but it was just like serious business going on. But I like that little segment, and Kyle O'Reilly, big props. Hopefully that pays off later on as a single star.
Yes, definitely do. But Undisputed Era definitely seems to write eye candy for the match. I believe if we're looking at the AEW side, they were going toe to toe with the NXT AEW tag team match with FTR versus the Best Friend. So it seems like they were kind of in sync in a way, but AEW had a whole different program for the 1-year anniversary, which I think we could definitely jump into. I mean, like Candice LeRae becoming the #1 contendership, it's not a surprise. I mean, like,
but I feel like there's something going on with. I feel like I think Indy Hartwell, she helped out and she gave him the brass knuckles. So I feel there's something there, because I think Indy Hartwell gave last week a TV for them to watch, which is kind of crazy, like a big TV. So I don't know if she's trying to give her gifts to kind of like, I gave you gifts, she wants something in return, or she wants to join the Gargano way. I don't know what's going on over there, but I feel like Indy Hartwell, she might be in the midst of this title picture. So I don't know if she's up next or she's the next person facing Candice LeRae or something, but it should be interesting how they incorporated her.
I think she might just be an accomplice, or maybe be added on to the Garganos, you know what I'm saying, in a sense. I saw that. I was like, hey, if that's how, LeRae won, then cool. That's a really heelish type of approach. I would like to see more of different competitors, you know what I'm saying, for the AEW belt, NXT belt, than the same people, because like, again, in the Halloween Havoc, it was announced that not only are we going to get Ripley versus Raquel, but we're also going to get Johnny Gargano versus Damian Priest again, and we're also going to see Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai again in a match. But so it's like
their fate, it's in Shotzi Blackheart's hand. So she, at the end of the show, she kind of like, since she's the host of Halloween Havoc, she's spinning the wheel of doom. So she's picking the stipulation of the matches for both of them. But I thought she was gonna spin it at the end of the show, but I guess she didn't. So I don't know if it's gonna roll over for next week, or it might be some type of social media. But I was, when the whole episode ended, I went online and looked at their picture. Somebody took a still of it. They have different interesting matches. So there's the ones that I saw was casket match, ambulance, Hell in a Cell, kind of Extreme Rules type of matches, and one they have a couple that's Shotzi's choice. So I hope that it lands on her and she could change it in the middle of the match, like how Gargano, I think it was Gargano and Adam Cole had the 3 out of 5 falls or something. Like they have to win a couple of matches. 3 out of 5.
Two out of 3 falls. Yeah.
So I hope they make something like that. That like up to a certain limit, the match changes to non-DQ or something. Make it difficult for the Gargano. So it should be interesting how they put Halloween Havoc together. But I like Shotzi as a host, and also I like this spin of like her being the one choosing the destiny for the Garganos, which is it could be pretty cool to see a Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, and it's again it's an event that we should enjoy in a sense, but recycling some same ideas is just a little bit like it's not that attractive to the eye. That's all I gotta say on that. You know what I'm saying?
But it works because I feel like Halloween that haven't been used in a while, so I like that.
No, the pay-per-view idea is fine. It's the match, the cards. It's the cards that I'm not too fond of.
And I don't think nothing's gonna change. I wanted to. For me, I think we talked about it in a couple of episodes before about the NXT takeover. I personally wanted Candice LeRae, or I think I said Gargano winning.
I think it's Gargano we wanted.
I wanted something like something to change, but I feel like they're trying to keep everything like up to par for now. I don't know if they went for not SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and after that they might reshuffle people around in the division. But they should be interesting. But I don't think Io Shirai could lose it. Damian maybe, because he's been close to losing a couple of times. Even at regular matches, not even like pay-per-view. The one that he had against Dexter Loomness was pretty close. So I hope they do something different with the division pretty soon, because it's gonna be stale like how the main roster is.
Completely agree. I mean, and of course, Austin Theory losing in NXT is like he's the Kurt Hawkins of NXT. It's very unattractive. I just don't comprehend this. It just like it blows my mind. You guys heard the Providence Lucha Talk. If you made it this far, we say thank you for sticking around, and we appreciate you. If you found us by accident and you enjoy the show, man, we just got 2 words for you, man. Follow us, man. Yes, we on the social media. We on Facebook, Insta, the Twitter, as well as the YouTube. Just like and subscribe. And also for those who have iPhones, man, we're in the Apple Podcast. Just give us that 5-star in the comment. Well, we know exactly what we can improve on, and as well as those who are not Apple users, those who are getting the Android Pixel 5, you got Spotify, so enjoy that, and also give us that 5-star rating. So, I am your boy Jay Aguila,
Dexter Luisito,
and I say good night. Buenas noches. Peace.